Never fear. Marc Daniels is here. Welcome back to the Beat of Sports.
Did we just welcome ourselves back?
You did. Well, it's a welcome back for you.
Oh. I see what you're doing.
We missed you. Forgot what you look like.
You look taller?
I was hoping some facial hair.
Put on a pound or two?
Why not, grow out a playoff beard, NCAA tournament beard?
It's not hockey, man.
Doesn't matter.
Hockey. How you doing?
I'm good. Battling allergies.
Yeah.
Killing me.
Chris is in here snorting like his last name was Escobar.
You were snorting too? Don't
Not
give
like
me that.
you. Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
Not like you. No way. You're on a scale of 1 to 10 of 50. Man.
It's rough today.
Oh, well, I'm telling you. And God bless my wife. I was gone. She raked everything except there's like 6 massive piles of leaves. She's like, "Can you help me?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So today I will help her. But it just doesn't stop. Like, where are these leaves coming from? There's nothing left in the tree. Wow. Anyway, how you doing, Chris?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Everything's coming along.
Can I, without giving much away, Chris is like a brand new kitchen. And I didn't respond. You sent me the video. I think it was doing baseball or something. It's a nice looking sink you got there.
I'm so excited.
Got one of those fancy sinks like rich people you see on reality TV shows like the Housewives of some city.
I do feel a little fancy.
Do you know it works?
Do I know what works?
No, like do you know
I know how it works?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been playing with it a lot. Have not had a beer yet at the house, so when I do, I will use the cup squirter to make sure my glass is beer clean.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fancy. I mean, it's next level stuff. This isn't a regular sink.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Wow.
I've never been more excited for an appliance in my life. Does that make me old? Am I the old guy now?
Well, you're getting up there when you start, when that becomes like key things in your life. That's a sign. But it's nice. Got yourself a nice kitchen. It's all good. Most importantly, is the wife happy?
She's very happy. Well, she'll be happy because our house has been a wreck for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So there's dust everywhere. We can't really walk on the floors without shoes. So once that all gets cleaned up, we will be very happy.
All right. Well, good for you. It looks very nice.
Thank you.
All good. Yeah. Monday edition of our program is going to be back in studios, at least for the next couple of days. It's almost 2 weeks since I've been in studio.
Yeah.
But it's nice to be back. We got a lot of stuff to get to on the Monday program of the weekend that was. We got basketball, both college, pro to get to, baseball, some football, all that fun stuff on what's going to be a busy week with the NCAA tournament. Now bracket set. We'll do a little tournament talk in a little bit. And glad you're with us. You can catch us on the stream. If you go to our YouTube page at 96.9 The Game Orlando on YouTube, click on the icon, the live button. You can watch our stream. We'll do some show within the show stuff today, which is always fun if you're hanging out there in the stream. You can also access the stream by going to our Twitter or X at 96.9 Game On. Click on that link, and you can always access the show on 96.9 FM, 740 AM. Or if you're listening in podcast form, we appreciate you doing that as well. I mentioned earlier, talking to Kelly, I was trying to do a bunch of things over the weekend. Didn't have a lot of time. I met the guy CPT, Citizens Patrol Team.
I was here for that story. Fantastic.
Oh, no, I think he's thinking about Hell's Angels. Right, he's thinking about a violent motorcycle gang patrolling the neighborhood. No, Blue Angels. Right, the guys that do the tricks with planes and everything. Fantastic.
If I'm a Blue Angel, I'm a little insulted.
You should be. Yeah, you should be. Last night I stopped on the way home after the UCF selection party, and I had to pick up a couple of items at the store. And I like the fact at the Publix that I shop, usually at night they do have a police officer. Okay, just makes you feel good and safe and so forth. And he's at his normal spot outside. Have you ever asked a police officer for directions
I mean, we have phones, so no, can't say that I have.
So I'm leaving last night. Somebody comes up and very innocently was asking the police officer and just mentioned an address. And this isn't the address, but like 865, Elm Street.
309.
And the cop, who looks like a nice guy, just goes, I don't know. Look at your phone. And I thought, he's got a point. But at the same time, the guy was like, maybe I don't have, I don't know. But the cop's like, I don't know. Look at your phone.
Pretty much everyone has a smartphone in some capacity.
You would think.
So you just go to Google.
Right.
You got Waze.
I don't think the cop meant to sound mean. He's like, I don't know. Look at your phone, man. Like, what do you want?
And then me being the sinister, seeing too many TV shows, I assume that he's trying to distract the cop so something else could happen.
Right. I guess the guy could have said, well, you're on your phone. Could you look up and see where it is as well?
See, if I'm the cop, I'm clapping back.
You're clapping back on that?
Yes.
Really?
You got a phone? Take it out.
I only assume the guy who was asking didn't have a phone out. The cop was on his phone looking at something.
And even if he tells you how to get there, you're going to remember it?
Well, maybe he's going to write it down. I don't know.
Good Lord. What is this, the 1990s?
Oh, man. All right. We got a lot of stuff to get to. NCAA tournament. Maybe the hottest team in the NBA. All that and so much more. Stick around. Here's everybody's favorite segment.
It's almost like an unwritten rule that when you become a father, you become king of the bad dad jokes.
What is Forrest Gump's password? 1Forrest1.
Are you ready to laugh? We know at least one person is. Here's CB's dad joke of the day.
Oh, that's so great.
I feel like Tuck will never want to do the show again. He did not like my jokes last week.
All 3 days?
All three. He was not impressed.
Tough critic.
He really is.
Mike believes in genuine humor. So do you feel nervous now?
A little bit, but I feel really good about this joke.
Okay. All right.
What did the digital clock say to the grandfather clock?
I don't know, Chris. What did the digital clock say to the grandfather clock?
Look, no hands.
That's pretty good. To be honest. That's pretty good.
Look, no hands.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? This is Pat Lynch.
And I'm talking about you're not rocking out with WJRR.
Lock it in here with Marc Daniels and the beat of sports.
We're selling Kelly earlier on the bridge, Chris. I'm going to guess you didn't watch a second of the Oscars.
That would be correct.
Don't have Chris down as a red carpet guy 3 hours before the Oscars and then sticking around for the show. I don't have you as one of those.
That would be a correct assumption.
Yeah. I saw very little of the Oscars last night. I did text Scott Harris, who I think is going to be here Wednesday for Movie Wednesday, if he saw One Battle Act for Another, which is the movie that won Best Picture. Okay. I did watch that movie.
Is it not worth Best Picture?
I'm not the guy, okay? Because I think other than Formula One, it's the only other movie that I saw that was nominated, okay? And I get who was in it. I didn't like the movie. I understood it and all. I just didn't like the movie. And the only time I watched, again, I was clicking over during commercials of the World Baseball Classic because I was all in on that last night. And I said the same thing again. The bridge. It's got nothing to do with politics, but man, there are a group of people that take their life like more serious. Like you got to step out of your bubble, man. You got to step out to the rest of the world and realize. Okay.
Well, it just seems like, regardless of the situation, regardless of if it's an athlete, someone accepting an award, whatever, I want to thank my family. I want to thank God.
That's okay. That's okay.
But it's the same speech.
No. It's just. It's like the same thing. Great athletes work hard to be great. Okay. Some people are born with God-given talent, or just born with talent. It doesn't need to be a spiritual power. Are born with talent that others either don't have or have to work a lot harder to get to that level. The same thing applies in acting. I don't question that at all. And it's not that the people that won these awards are not talented people. It's just you got to put some things in perspective, okay? Like we're not saving lives and extending the health of babies on this show right here. We're just two idiots with a microphone. But some of these speeches, just come on, man. You're making a movie. That's all. You're making a movie. And good for you. You're good at it. And if it leads to riches, but don't take yourself so serious, okay? That's the end of my speech.
It's the same thing every single time. Regardless.
I saw the movie. I just, By the way, quick breaking news of the NBA. I'm going to do a little bit more of the Magic coming up. But breaking news of the NBA, Shams Charania had the story first this morning, and others have jumped on it. Next week, this is how you do expansion, man. In the NBA, there's no, hey, let's do the tour around cities. Like the NBA basically decided we're going to Seattle and Las Vegas. We're going to put a massive price tag, and the owners are going to vote, and that's it. With an expansion fee expected to be somewhere between $7 to $10 billion. And by the way, this story doesn't get out unless the NBA knows it is a mere formality. So 18 years after the Sonics left Seattle, the NBA is going to head back there with a formal vote next week, and to Las Vegas, which was also the worst-kept secret ever, with the Timberwolves expected to go from the West to the East, and teams beginning play in the 28-29 season. There is no let's go around the country to cities. And the NBA is like, that's it. We're going here. So the vote's expected next week when the next governor's meeting, I think it's March 24th and 25th, and they will be presented with, here it is, formal vote. So Seattle and Las Vegas expected to be approved to start in 28-29 of the NBA. That's how you do expansion, man.
I understand why Vegas, but given everything that's been happening, like especially with what the NBA just went through, does Vegas really seem like a smart place to put a team?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean,
what could go wrong?
Well, what goes wrong with the hockey team and football team now? What goes wrong?
Neither of them have had gambling scandals right now.
But why is it just in Vegas? We have gambling in some form in almost every state in this country. Why would it be a problem?
I'm saying everything that just happened with the NBA and the gambling.
But Chris, you don't have to be in Vegas to gamble anymore. You can be in Florida, New York, Texas, Washington.
I get that, but you're going to put it at like the epicenter of the casinos and just Just my 2 cents.
I'm just telling
my
you
2 cents.
I'm just telling you someone that visits Vegas every year from where it was, forget 20 years ago, where it was 8 years ago. It's changed as a market. And has it happened quickly? Absolutely. To have 4 pro teams once the stadium for the A's is done. Yeah, but I think the NBA would have told you, hey, we probably should have been first, but they did have the image and what happened with the All-Star game. But it'll do well. That franchise, I would imagine, will have no problem finding wannabe owners for it. But that's the NBA news about what's happening with expansion. College basketball and the NCAA tournament field is announced. There's 68 teams. I don't like 68. I don't think 16 seeds should be playing in a playing game. If you want to take the last 8 teams in the bubble and have them play in Dayton over 2 nights, that's fine. But the field is set. The Gators are a 1 seed. Despite losing to Vanderbilt in the SEC championship game, I still think Florida enters the tournament as one of the best teams in the country. I think that they've got a chance to win the national championship because of how they played the last month and a half of the season. I think they were arguably one of the 3 best teams in the country. They get to go to Tampa for the first 2 rounds, and it is not shocking to think that Florida could get back to the Final Four, and if you get that far, you can win a national championship. Miami is a 7 seed. They'll play Missouri. The Canes had an unbelievable season. Jay Lucas did a phenomenal job in his first season with the Hurricanes. They don't play a ton of people. They kind of play an awkward style, but they can beat you up. It's an interesting matchup against Missouri for Miami, but a game that they can win. South Florida won the American. They'll play Louisville, which I actually think is a pretty good matchup for them. Louisville was up and down this year, and then UCF did get in as a 10 seed. They'll play UCLA. Mick Cronin, who was at Cincinnati for a long time when UCF was in the American with them. Mick Cronin, who at UCLA, since he's gotten there, has complained about the Big Ten schedule of flying east all the time. And it's ironic that they're going to fly east to Philadelphia to play UCF. When the bracket, before the bracket is announced, I think UCF felt good, but you just don't know. It turns out as the committee seeded all 68 teams, UCF was 38th. And if you take a look at how the at-large teams were, they actually were probably very safe when they left Kansas City on Friday last week based on who was still in the bubble and what could happen. But you don't know because the committee doesn't put that out before you get to Sunday. And when they started unveiling the bracket, which they did quickly into the show, and it popped up, good news for UCF that it was early. And they see that they draw UCLA. It's an interesting matchup, which we'll get to more for the week. And while the Knights did kind of crawl home, losing 4-5, they also went 4-4 in their final 8 games. So, I mean, you can look at it any way you want. And look, I've said this. There are always going to be critics of every coach whose fan base has an expectation that maybe the team doesn't meet. And they're critics of Johnny Dawkins that if UCF loses on Friday, they'll say, see, I told you. But I do think if you look at the season as a whole for UCF, for where they were predicted in the Big 12 to make the NCAA tournament, it was a good year to go 9-9 in the Big 12 and to make the tournament. Now, you'd like to win a game, see what happens. It's how you got to grow the brand. It's not just show up and get the T-shirt that we were there. And we'll see what happens in the game against UCLA. But the metrics ended up working for UCF by playing in the toughest conference in the country by all the metrics that you can measure. And they got in. And now we'll see what happens in a matchup against UCLA. And then if they win, a likely matchup against UConn. What I find interesting, and Chris, I was trying to think of the comparison. Think of the reaction of the NCAA field of 68 versus what we do in college football. And I bring this up because I think it's apples and oranges. Even though you have a selection committee that is putting the field together, it is completely different when you have a committee that is, they're not picking 68 teams. They're ranking 68 teams. They're choosing at-large teams, although some of that is not, you're not choosing to bring the Gators into the NCAA tournament. It usually comes down to a handful of teams is what the committee is basically doing. And then they seed the teams by using a variety of metrics. In college football, we're talking now about 12. And we haven't been doing that long. We did 4. So we've done 12 the last couple of years. We're going to do 12 again this year. Well, they debate if we're going to go to 16 or 24. But as I was reading and following, some people are like, well, it doesn't seem to be as much chaos as in football. I don't think the comparison really works. And you know why? One basic reason, not to the committee's job, but to fans. Okay, if you're honest with yourself, most of you, this isn't a criticism, it's just reality. You don't watch college basketball during the season, not like football. In college football, like in the NFL, you play one game a week. And for most teams, it's Saturday. There's a structure to it. There's, as I say every year, there's a journey and a soap opera to college football that's completely different than basketball. Yes, both have blue blood brands that are going to get the benefit of the doubt. But it's different. The way college football is structured, the beginning of a season, the ranking matters. Even though it's not supposed to, but it matters because the committee's a human. In college basketball, to some degree, it doesn't matter because there are many more games. Teams play 31 regular season games, 2 to 3, sometimes 4 conference tournament games. There's a greater sample size of games. The urgency in college football, though you could lose a game or 2 and still make the play. In college basketball, heck, we were debating 16 lost teams getting in. UCF's got 11 losses. So it's a completely different argument. When you get to November, look at the TV show of college football. And I don't mean the rankings. I mean the TV show of every week, the role that studio shows play, the opinions of what does Kirk Herbstreit think and what does this guy think, and how we play off of that, and the SEC bias. It's a completely different storyline because the passion is greater invested in college football. There are some hardcore basketball junkies that love the college game, but it's not the same overall. The TV audience is significantly different. You take a look at the highest ranked college football games for viewership versus that in college basketball. And in college basketball, I think we had one game that drew over 6 million people. And that game was played the eve of Thanksgiving. Why? Because it's football weekend. Like a really good big Monday game on ESPN is getting about 1.6, 1.8 million, which in college basketball is a really good audience. In college football, in the prime viewing slots, that's not a good audience. And then the argument in college football usually ends up of 10-2 teams like we had the last couple of years. In college basketball, the argument's over teams that doesn't really impact your viewership. If Texas or NC State or SMU got in, like the biggest topic among at-large teams, what do you do at Miami of Ohio now because they lost the game? So it's a completely different comparison on how, to me, the sport is presented. People were praising the committee chair, Keith Gill, who's the Sun Belt Conference commissioner, how well he handled the Q&A. Well, in all fairness, and I don't know, I know who Keith Gill is, but I've never had a conversation with him. Even though the committee released its top 16 seeds, the last couple of weeks, there's not an hour television show. Like the only time most of you saw Keith Gill, and you don't remember his name today, was if you happened to watch the last 20 minutes of CBS show or he was on ESPN. That's it. In college football, who wants to be that guy, Chris? Because every Wednesday, he's annihilated, right? He's an idiot. That doesn't make sense. Who wants that job? Keith Gill? Whatever. Yeah. In the end, it came down to quad one. It's okay. You're ripping for 30 in college football. That guy's blasted for a month. Everybody annihilates him because they're picking 12 teams. No one's like, they're the 46 teams. We don't care as much. It's completely different. And by the way, both are beautiful in their own sense, meaning I love the makeup of the NCAA tournament. I'd be fine if it was 64. I told you I don't like 68. We can argue over bubble teams. In the end, we play a tournament. Ball goes up and we play. We like upsets. It's fun. You do brackets. In college football, it's completely different. It's completely different. The season-long storyline is completely different than college basketball. And it's beautiful in itself, as fractured as it is. The arguments, the conference bias, the logos, it's all part of what makes college football next to the NFL, the best sport in this country. In college basketball, the majority of people that will watch the tournament when the ball goes up on Thursday did not watch 5 college basketball games all season. They didn't. You know it, I know it. The guy in your office today that's handing out the brackets has no idea about 95% of the teams. And the other 5, he might know a name or a coach. He can't tell you much about them. And that's okay. That's also what makes the NCAA tournament kind of a fun thing. So comparing how they do it in football, it doesn't seem to be as much chaos in college basketball. To me, there's no comparison. They're totally different. And by the way, even if college football goes to 16 or the incredible idea of 24, it's still going to be completely different because of how we treat college football every single week. Even some of you that would say you're a college basketball fan, you don't check it until mid-January or early February when football's done. You're not watching most holiday tournaments of college basketball in November and December. You check in when there's fewer football games. Yeah, Big Monday's on. Oh, these teams have the number 2 and 5 next year. Oh, it must be a big game. I'll watch. Completely different. You get 2 and 5 to play in football, it's treated like a mini Super Bowl. It's just how the sports are covered. Little football, speaking of that, coming up a little bit later on in the program. We come back. Even some of the harshest critics are changing their tune. We'll get to that story next.
What's good, locos? This is Angel from the Monsters in the Morning on Real Radio 104.1, and you're listening to the voice of UCF, Marc Daniels, and the Beat of Sports on FM 96.9 The Game. You want real sports talk? You got it right here.
Bit of sports on a Monday. Back in studio. Rare studio visit.
How's it feel to be back in studio?
Nice. Good. Going to Philly this week. You know that bell still cracked?
Yeah.
It's like a couple hundred years. Like, fix the thing. Fix it. You know?
But it's iconic.
Last time I was in Philly, because UCF used to play Temple all the time. And I like Philly. I had never gone to the Rocky statue. And it was a cold, dreary, misty rain and everything. You know when I'm going, all right? So I go out for the run and everything, and not duplicating the Rocky run, but I, work my way around and everything. And it was so depressing because they've moved it from the top of the steps to the bottom right corner. Yep. And oh, you've seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't it depressing?
They don't
Because
want it there.
Here's the Rocky. Woo, up this. Oh, it's over here, the side, like away from anything.
I went to so when I went to Philly,
Yeah.
this was years ago, and that's where the statue was.
Yeah.
We were taking a tour of the city,
Right.
and they told us, they're like, nobody wants this statue.
Why not?
Nobody wants it.
Why not?
It's fake.
And it was sad because when I went by there's a guy selling Rocky T-shirts and everything. And people still take pictures, but it was depressing. So fix the bell, though.
It's iconic.
Just fix the bell. Not that big of a deal. Fix the bell. And I'll say it. I've had Pat's. I've had Geno's. You can get a good cheesesteak at a lot of places in Philadelphia. That's not knocking cheesesteaks. I'm just telling you. You don't have to go to Pat's or Geno's to get the only cheesesteak. You can get good cheesesteaks.
You get Cheese Whiz.
You can get a good cheesesteak anywhere in Philadelphia. All right. So, Chris, I say this all the time. I even drive myself crazy because I say this all the time. But in sports that the season has so many games, in the information instant hot take world we live in, if we step out of that like 30,000 feet and look down, and I'm as guilty as anybody, we're all idiots in this. Because I know why we need to react every single game. Every game. Baseball 162 and the NBA 82. We react all the time. And sometimes you look back and you're like, that was. I mean, it's okay to be wrong. Hey, you know what? I thought this. But in the hot take world that we're in, and you got to get hits and clicks and all that stuff, and you got to go viral, you end up just saying things, and you look back, you're like, So I want to play a few clips. Okay, right now, the Magic are 10 games over 500. They're 38-28. 38-28. I think last week I said, if the team was injury-free for the most part, you might miss a game here or there, but if Franz was healthy for the most part, how many more wins would they have? Maybe it's 4. I think Tuck said between 6, 7, or 8. Okay, 4 or 5 more wins. They'd be fighting for the 3 seed in the East, which at the beginning of the season you thought, okay. And by the way, they don't have a massive cushion to be in the play-in right now, but the Magic are 38-28, riding a 7-game win streak. A 7-game win streak. And here's a sample size. 14 games. Last 14 games, okay? The team is 10-4. 8th in points. 12th in field goal percentage. 8th in three-point shooting. That's the Magic. 8th in three-point shooting in the last 14 games. Defensive rebounding, 6th. Turnovers, 7th fewest in the NBA. And again, you can go stat hunting all you want, but it's very hard for many people that have been critics of the team and certain players. And I'm guilty too there. But I want to play a few clips. All right? And some of these are going to go back to when everybody's picking the Magic, okay? Kevin O'Connor, who writes for The Ringer, known NBA guy, quote, respected NBA guy, okay? And his whole thing.
They have to
add shooters this year. They're in a position where this offense is still sputtering even after adding Desmond Bane and Tyus Jones this offseason. They're 18th in offensive rating. That's up from 27th last year. But the gains from three-point range, they were 23rd in the NBA in three-point attempts last year. They're 25th this year. They were 30th in the NBA in three-point percentage last year. They're 29th this year. The question on my mind lately, though, Tom, is there's good things happening in Orlando. Anthony Black looks like he's taking a big leap on the floor, and that's while Jalen Suggs is out. Is Jalen Suggs actually the guy they should be trying to flip as their highest value tradable piece? Orlando, I think, should be putting Suggs into that, let's explore trades idea and try to figure out this roster around Franz and Paolo. What do you think?
I think Paolo's the guy. I think you trade him for
Wow.
Michael Porter Jr.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Tom Havistro, another one of the basketball geniuses. If you've watched the last X number of games, don't tell me the team could do without Jalen Suggs, okay? And the Paolo numbers, again, pick your sample size, whoever you want, okay? You're going to have a hard time stat hunting. You're going to have a hard time. Yeah, the points per game is 3 points off of last year, but let's take a look at, since the All-Star break, let's go look at the numbers here. But wait, it's more, too. Let's go back to some others that had thoughts.
Something weird is going on in Orlando, and it's happening with their former #1 overall pick and franchise player, Paolo Banchero. When you're making your disappointing player list throughout the 2026 NBA season about halfway through, Paolo Banchero is going to be mentioned. He's averaging 6 less points per game than he did last year. He's dropped from about 26 points per game to 20 points per game, which does even put him as a top 45 scorer in the NBA.
There's plenty of those out there. There's plenty of those out there. Zach Lowe, the other well-respected guy. And I read all of Zach's stuff. I listen to his podcast. I think Zach does an incredible job. He was among the harshest critics of Paolo and the Magic and what the team should do. Is it all his fault? All that stuff. He had no problem saying, "Hey, I think this team's broken." Has someone turned the corner?
And it feels like they've had such a disappointing season because the expectations are so high. Banchero and Franz Wagner have barely played together. It's been an up and down season, but here they are kind of finding their defensive identity and their toughness at the right time. Banchero's had the best stretch of his season in the last 2-3 weeks. Like, they might be a little friskier than we thought. I kind of had written them off because they'd been so just up and down the entire season, but they're finding themselves.
And historically.
And you know what? It's fine. Like I said, we can all have hot takes because we need the instant reaction, right? After every loss for a period of time, it's a mess. And all's not fixed, but winning covers a lot. Winning fixes a lot. And now that Paolo's numbers are much better, now that Jalen Suggs, I think, is healthier, and yes, they still haven't gotten Franz back. But now 10 games over 500, within range of a top 4 seed. I don't know if they can run the Knicks down, but they can run Cleveland down with some big games coming up. Doesn't mean that they shouldn't have made a deal at the trade deadline. Again, don't know what was really out there or not. I know it bothered people when the answer from Jeff Weltman was, we want to see when this team gets healthy, and they haven't gotten healthy. And by the way, I still don't know, nor does anybody know when Franz Wagner's coming back, because you can show clips of a guy that's doing shooting drills. Don't know what it really means, but they're 10 games over 500 right now. Everybody's dealt with injuries, so you don't feel sorry for them compared to others, but they're playing as good as anybody. They won 7 consecutive basketball games. There are some challenging games coming up. We talked about this, the stretch for the basketball team of these final 16 games include most games against teams battling for home court advantage and in first round, or getting out of the play-in, or even in the play-in. So they got some tough games coming up, but they now become a team that I'm not quite sure you look forward to playing to. And I did watch their game against the Heat the other night, which kind of was a wild game. Questionable 5 count late in the basketball game, but that's a really good road win. And this year, they've owned Miami. Owned Miami this year. So hard to argue about the results the team is getting right now. And again, if you're in that criticized Paolo group, you're kind of running out of stuff. Tonight, they play the Hawks, who have played really good basketball of late. And we've got that game for beginning at 6:30. The Hawks have won 9 straight. Magic have won 7 straight. Outside of Oklahoma City, who's got 8. It's the 2 longest win streak. Magic have the longest. Rather, the Hawks the longest, and then the Thunder, then the Magic. But 10 games over 500. Big game tonight on the road at Atlanta. Let's see what happens there. Isn't it true, though, Chris? We do that all the time.
Well, I think everyone tries to kind of copy the NFL because the NFL, it's one game a week, and we have to react because it's such a short season. Other sports try and follow.
But is that me still?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
It can't be me. It's
It
not
ain't
even
me.
plugged in.
It's not me.
It's okay to react to a degree game by game, but I just think at times you also have to step back and take a look at a bigger picture. And you go back since the All-Star break, you're hard-pressed to find 5 better teams in the NBA since the All-Star break.
But if you're not outrageous and outlandish,
no,
we got to get viewers. We got to get hits and clicks.
And there was a time that criticism of Paolo was fair. And he did look out of shape. And he did look disinterested. And that's all valid. Just like criticism of Jamal Mosley is valid. But at the same time, when things go well, it's okay to praise. And I think Paolo's last month has been very, very good. Very good. And if they do get Wagner back, it only makes them better. But right now, hard to argue. 10 games over 500, pretty good win streak, and a good game against the Hawks. Like, I'm looking forward to the Hawks and Magic tonight. Tree Rollins for the Hawks. Oh, wait, he hasn't been there in a while. Dominique Wilkins, Spud Webb.
Do you think
Cliff Livingston?
Do you think Atlanta's going to have a chip on their shoulder since their Magic City night was canceled?
That's supposed to be tonight?
Yeah, against the Magic.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, they're still doing some things.
But
it's not the actual,
There's going to be a chip on the shoulder.
Okay. I got you. Yeah. All invested. I was. Explain that next.
No, yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
That guy, Mick Cronin. Now, I will say this. I'm sure, not that the selection committee, Chris, when they put the bracket together, but if UCLA beats UCF and they're favored and UConn wins, there is no greater sideline antic game than Mick Cronin and Dan Hurley. I mean, there are no two coaches that drop as many F-bombs and scream at officials more than those two guys. And the complete opposite would be Johnny Dawkins and either one of those two guys. Yeah. Are you raising your voice at me? Yes, I am.
Who do you think you are?
Mick Cronin.
You're raising your voice at me?
So, Chris, I love when patriotism and sports collide. Okay? I was up early to watch the Olympic hockey match between the U.S. and Canada. I desperately wanted the Americans to get to the gold medal game. I was on the edge of my seat when we had to go in overtime to advance. All that stuff. All in. Not just as a hockey guy, but I love when we get patriotism and sports combined. And I always say this, and others say that sports can be a unifier, particularly in this country where we're so divided in politics. And I loved it. And I know others are not as into as I am. The World Baseball Classic is phenomenal to me. I think it's great. And I couldn't wait. I got home last night and the game had started, and I'm all in on the U.S. and the Dominican Republic. And Chris, last night, you could not come up with a better combination of players in the world than played in that game. The Dominican lineup is unbelievable of stars. The American lineup. And here's the great thing about it. The World Baseball Classic used to be a punchline when it started. And all the criticism of many things that Bud Selig got, he did say it will take time. And we've got to get our best players to play. The problem was when the World Baseball Classic started, the best players didn't care. Like, I'm not playing in that. And when is it? But no, I go to spring training, man. I play a few games. I play golf. I play cards, and then we break camp. And Selig and now the current administration, Rob Manfred and his group, they push the best players to play. Aaron Judge helped. Bryce Harper helped. Mike Trout, that guy. Remember the one that was healthy? Because they saw what was happening. It wasn't that the Latin American team, they always play. Every year, the Caribbean World Series is all-star rosters all over the place. And as Shohei Ohtani's brand began to grow, it obviously helped with Japan. And then the punchline was, oh, well, look at who's making up some of these teams that's playing with other countries. They're not citizens and they're great-grandparents. Okay, but last time in 23, we got that championship game. And we got Ohtani versus Trout. And it built. And the best thing was, more than a year ago, Aaron Judge said, I want to play. And Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber and on and on and on. And it matters. And Chris, I know you haven't watched much. I have, but I'm telling you, you cannot tell me last night, as the drama builds in a 2-1 game, that as incredible plays, that those guys don't care, because it was impossible to not care. That atmosphere you dream of. And yes, 3/4 of the crowd were, at least to me, watching Dominican Republic fans. The game's in Miami. You can understand that. Don't tell me it didn't care. And then, Chris, I think you'll agree. Sometimes, for example, if the Americans had beaten Canada in hockey 5-1, do we celebrate it? Of course we do. Is it as dramatic? No. Right? It mattered. It's overtime. It's tense. It's nerves. It's patriotism.
Yep.
Right? This game last night had plays like this.
Juan Soto, Bobby Witt, and then Ketel Marte, who shows it to the base hit to the right. He sets the third. Throw from Judge. Right there. He's gone. Judge, touchdown, Tatis.
Paul Skeens is pitching for the Americans. Aaron Judge, the captain, is in right field. Fernando Tatis Jr. is rounding second, going to third. If I stop there, what? Look what I just gave you. Okay, and Judge throws a bullet to third base and gets Tatis, who's shocked. Okay, and it adds to the crowd is going crazy. I mean, it's just, wait a minute. What? That just happened? Then you get Gunnar Henderson.
The ninth pitch comes out, it sends a fly ball to right center field. Gunnar Henderson is coming.
A guy named Gunnar Henderson homers for the Americans. Come on. And then Chris, me, celebrating a Red Sox. Roman Anthony?
Blue. Fly ball right center field. Rodriguez and Tatis going back. It is gone. Roman Anthony gives the U.S. the lead.
I'm not supposed to fist pump when a Red Sox does anything good, Chris. Wait, you want more drama? Here's Aaron Judge at the plate.
Drive center field. Rodriguez going back. Did he get enough?
Unbelievable. Judge to dead center field. Julio Rodriguez makes the catch. The crowd goes insane. And Chris, I'm telling you, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the drama of every pitch, these relievers that are coming out of the bullpen. I mean, pitching at a jams against the 3 best Dominican players that are all-stars and then the 9th inning. And then here comes a guy that's throwing 102 miles an hour. Mason Miller comes out of the bullpen. He's throwing 102 miles an hour. I don't think people understand the little blip that ball looks like. And tying run is at third. I mean, all the drama and everything of that atmosphere and what can you do? And then Miller does this.
To Perdomo. Here it is.
Controversy because the box would say not a strike. We don't use ABS. Albert Pujols, the manager for the Dominican Republic, I thought was incredibly classy when he just said, we're not going to let this, I'm not going to talk about that. And the players, both sides were asked about it. Juan Soto felt a called strike 3 to him earlier, 2 innings before, was the wrong call. And there's no ABS system, although you'd still need challenges. People just assume, well, that would have been overturned. Well, you don't know how the game goes. If you have ABS, you may not have a challenge left. And that's a tough pitch to take. If you watch that, you can't tell me the nerves of both sides. That's Aaron Judge. That's Bryce Harper. That's Kyle Schwarber. I mean, you can't tell me that they're not nervous and into that thing last night. And the same deal with the Dominican Republic, and then it doesn't mean anything to them. It's not the Olympics, and yet I think for baseball, I'm not quite sure because it's an Olympic gold that it makes it more important than what it was last night. And the Americans may end up playing Italy, who beat them before, and win by 10 runs. But last night's game, do not tell me those guys were not emotionally invested.
Yeah, Tarek Skubal just sits on by.
Which I get to this point. Forever. And I hope he's a Yankee, but may not be. He'll end up being a Dodger because everybody's a Dodger. Paul Skeens stayed because he wanted to pitch in that game. He didn't know it was going to end up being, but he wanted to pitch. That dude took the ball last night against that lineup in that atmosphere and wanted to pitch, pitched out of multiple jams and wanted to pitch. Tarek Skubal pitched this weekend for the Tigers. And sorry, dude. Sorry. Was in the dugout last night, but sorry. Great pitcher. Might be the best pitcher right now in baseball. But Paul Skeens, forever for me, he's good. He's good. Wanted the ball in that environment. And it was as big as anything. And you can say, because Aaron Judge took some heat because he said afterwards, different crowd than even the World Series. And I think what his point was because of the country patriotism going on. It's one thing you're playing a Yankee-Dodger game and you got fans on both sides. He's in that environment. And Skeens wanted the ball. And good for him. And he'll always be cool in my book. Skubal, I recognize his greatness as a pitcher, but nah, man. You can't tell me throwing the weekend for the Tigers in a meaningless Grapefruit League game is better than what Skeens did. Even if Skeens got shelled, but he didn't get shelled. Skeens, baseball hero to me. Skubal, good pitcher. I'm sorry, man. It mattered.
You think maybe the stage is too big for Skubal?
No, and I say this in a sports sense. I hope he regrets it, because I don't know if any point in the dugout last night he looks around and goes, "This is awesome." Because I guarantee you, every teammate that was available to play in that game was emotionally invested, and I hope the 3 letters in the jersey mattered. I'm not questioning the patriotism of Skubal, but I just Skeens wanted the ball. Skeens could have done the same thing. Hey, I pitched once. I'm good. He wanted to play. He wanted to be a part of that. Don't tell me on the base hit to right that Aaron Judge wasn't trying to throw out Fernando Tatis Jr., and don't tell me he wasn't trying to get the first. It mattered. It matters to the Dominican team, believe me. One dude wanted to be there. The other dude was like, eh.
So who pitches for the Americans in the final?
Well, that's already been determined, but we got to worry about who pitches or the winner tonight. If Venezuela wins, the atmosphere will be as insane. Yeah. Maybe not as much as the Dominicans, but it'll be a crazy atmosphere. If Italy wins, it won't be the same type of atmosphere. Or there'll be more American fans there. By the way, what does it mean to Japan? They lost, and their manager resigned a few hours later in shame, as he said. Said he'd let his country down and owed it to the country to resign hours after Japan lost.
It means a lot to them.
Yeah. Skeens wanted the ball. Skubal, I'm good. I'll go pitch
I'll pitch grapefruit.
Yeah. I'll go pitch against guys wearing 78 that are going to be in Double-A. Come on. I hope you regret it. I do. I just hope, And if you haven't watched, it's fine. It's cool. I mean, I love it. And I was glued to that TV last night. And yeah, my wife had gone to bed. I fist pump, and I was proud, man. Because those guys wanted to play, and I could tell that it mattered to those guys. And you know what? 4 World Baseball Classic ago, you didn't have the same atmosphere. And that's a compliment to what the events become. And I heard people go, well, they should copy the 4 nations in hockey and, just invite. No. This is what the event is, and the event in games played in Japan, the games played in Puerto Rico, and the games played here in the U.S., look at the results. Every time the Americans played, it was sold out, and look at that atmosphere last night. I mean, the Marlins won't draw that crowd for 3 months combined.
Probably the entire season.
Yeah. All right. 11 o'clock hour. We'll kick it off with the news just a little bit. We're going to go the show within the show on the stream. You can go join us there. If you're following on YouTube, stay right there. If you're on Twitter, stay right there. Otherwise, you can go jump on a YouTube page at 96 The Game Orlando. Click on the icon, the live button, or get there by going to 96.9 Game on Twitter. We'll do a little show within the show. The hour kicks off at 11 with the news coming up.
We're on?
Are we up?
We're on.
Do you want to show any pictures of it? No, I'm just kidding. Of your kitchen. No. Don't do that. Is there anything that football could do from an international standpoint? Like, there's nothing, because the gap of American football to everybody else in all these other sports, in even in soccer, in baseball, basketball, and hockey, we're either the dominant country or we're not. But the gap, but in football, there is no equivalent, and flag football is not going to do it in 28 either. By the way,
There's really nothing that football could do. I wouldn't even know where to begin to try and come up with something.
No, it's impossible. And I mean, you've seen Americans go play football in other countries, and they develop it, and it's grown over the years. But there is no equivalent to it. I mean, it that's the one sport that I just think you're never going to be able to have an international competition that could generate the same type of passion.
It would be,
for it.
you could do a competition, but it couldn't involve America.
Well, they do it now. Actually, there is. I forget the name of it. And there's an American team, and actually, I don't think we've won the event because we're throwing together a combination of players versus some of these countries whose teams have been together for quite some time. So yeah,
it just doesn't work.
No, it doesn't really work. What was I going to ask you? Oh, can I ask you? Somebody ask a food question.
Okay.
Okay. Ready? On can you do the following? If you have a cheeseburger, okay, you've heard of people put eggs on, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've heard people put bacon, right?
Yeah.
What's your thought about ham on a hamburger? Okay, see, my first reaction was the same thing you just did, okay? But then, why? Like a slice of ham, like,
yeah,
cooked ham on a burger. You put bacon on there, why not ham?
Why put ham?
Why put bacon? Right?
Huh.
Yeah. I saw this yesterday at the ballpark. And at first I thought, oh, and then it's like, well, wait a minute. Why not? You put bacon. I mean, a bacon cheeseburger sounds delicious, right?
Yeah. You're not going to put a ham cheeseburger, a hamburger?
I'm just saying a nice slice of ham, cooked well, got a little bit of the black taste on it and everything, on top of the hamburger. Has anybody ever done that if you're on the stream? Put ham on a hamburger.
But I'm also of the ilk that I only eat ham when it's cold. I'm not going to put cold ham on a burger.
But people do eat
weird
warm
things.
No, I have like an Easter or like you find that odd to eat like warm ham, hot ham?
Oh, yeah. Well, sliced ham.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
No, sliced ham is cold. Like the ham, like the full ham that you eat Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving. That's
imagine
warm.
like the honey baked ham, nice cooked piece, thinly sliced on top of a hamburger. I don't think it's weird, although I don't know anybody that's ever until I saw this guy do it. He had a hamburger, and then in the club level, they had sliced ham because it was an early baseball game, right? And he took the sliced ham and put on top of the burger. And I said, "Did you put ham in there?" He goes, "Yeah, I do it all the time." And I thought, that's not odd, but I don't recall. Yeah, does anybody put ham on their hamburger? So it's not odd.
Bacon, yes. Ham, no.
Why not though?
Bacon, not ham.
But why can't you put ham on the burger?
It's maybe
a ham hamburger.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
But just from a taste standpoint, why not?
Have you? Well, you just said you haven't tried it.
Try
it and let me know, or let us know.
I gotta admit, it looked good with the guy I was eating yesterday. He had cheese on top of it, and I gotta admit, it was pretty good. But I don't normally think about ham on a hamburger.
It's like just because you can do it probably doesn't mean you should. Like pineapple on pizza, like just because you can do it doesn't mean you should.
Okay, but after getting past it's not that odd. It's not like I'm putting, shrimp on top of the hamburger. That's dumb. Okay?
Why? Why is that dumb?
Oh, combining the seafood with the meat there?
You ever heard of surf and turf?
Yeah, separately. Like here's the steak, here's the lobster tail over here.
So you
put it on top of each other.
So you want to take your fork and do. Oh.
Separate food is okay. Yeah, you don't put that on top of that. Yeah.
Someone said bacon is ham, so maybe.
Okay, but you know what I'm talking about. The regular slice of ham versus the bacon. They're two different things. A slice of ham on top of it.
No.
It's like Canadian bacon. I mean, it's the same thing pretty much.
I know, but still no.
No. Wow.
No.
I have to admit, I'm finding it appealing.
Don't knock pineapple on pizza with Canadian bacon and hard pass.
I don't like pineapple on pizza, but I know a lot of people that do.
No, my wife's one of those.
that likes pineapple on pizza?
I judge her.
Yeah, I don't. I don't.
We got
get
30
that one.
seconds.
All right.
Pineapple on pizza is disgusting.
Let's really do the news.
Yes.
Now it is time to do the news.
But now it's time for the news.
Well, that's content you can't get anywhere that we just did and show it in the show, huh? Huh? If you're not watching, I don't know what to tell you. You should pay for that on stream somewhere. 11 o'clock hour, WYGM Orlando, WJR HD2 Cocoa Beach, Orlando sports leader. Marc Daniels will be the sports Chris Vasquez over there. I'm actually in studio today. We start first the NCAA tournament bracket announced yesterday of the Gators as expected a top seed in the South. They'll get the winner of the Prairie View Lehigh basketball game. The Gators will play on Friday. UCF, a 10 seed, will draw UCLA. Friday, 7:25 game in Philadelphia. Miami's in as a 7 seed. They'll take on Mizzou. Also play Friday night against 10 seeded Missouri. 11 seeded South Florida wins the American Conference tournament and the regular season title. They draw Louisville in an 11-6 matchup. The first of the play-in games goes tomorrow night in Dayton. And again, UCF will tip off Friday night, 7:25 from Philadelphia. Penny Hardaway's coming back to coach at Memphis. That was somewhat up for discussion with the Memphis folks, but Penny will see a 9th season as their coach. To the NBA, where the Magic tonight will take on the Atlanta Hawks, seeking to stretch their win streak to 8. The Hawks have won 9 games in a row. We'll have a coverage of that beginning at 6:30. Tip is set for just after 7 o'clock as the Magic find themselves in 5th place in the East. The NBA Executive Board is going to present its governors, known as the owners, a proposal next week on expansion. The whole let's go around the country to expansion, forget it. The NBA's pretty much made their mind up. They'll ask the Board of Governors to begin the vote on bringing in Seattle and Las Vegas in 2028 and 2029. The price tag, and it's a big gap, between $7 to $10 billion. That is a lot of money. And when you have expansion and the other owners share in that, you want it to be as close to $10 billion as you possibly can. But it is expected to be a formality as the NBA's done the due diligence. This has widely been expected for quite some time. The plan would be to have Minnesota move to the Eastern Conference and Seattle and Las Vegas to go to the West. Interesting indeed. World Baseball Classic, the U.S. beat the Dominican Republic 2-1 last night to advance to the championship game on Tuesday. The other semifinal goes tonight. That'll be Venezuela and Italy, who will play. Italy beat the Americans earlier in the tournament, but the U.S. did advance, and now they await the winner of that matchup. By the way, secondary tickets last night on the market. An hour before first pitch, if you wanted to sit lower level, $1,800. And somehow Marlins man was behind home plate last night. And Chris, I can't take it anymore.
Mark, you mentioned that the Americans, one of the best rosters in the world.
The Dominicans?
The Dominicans,
yeah.
One of the best rosters in the world.
Yeah.
Marlins, man, one of the best fans.
Can't take it. I can't
in
stand
the
him.
world.
I can't stand him.
He is right
can't stand
where he needed to be.
I can't stand him. Yeah.
That's an unjustifiable
Wearing the
hate.
Marlins orange jersey and his hat sideways, and he's probably a really, really nice guy. I know people that know him, but I can't stand it. I'm nervous, caught up in every pitch of that game, and I can't take my eyes off because he's right behind there. And I know it's exactly what he wants. He gets the attention and all that stuff. By the way, the Jets are trading Justin Fields to the Chiefs. Yeah. We're going to do football coming up in the next segment, so save the vomit for that.
Lord. How is it you don't like Marlins, man?
Can't stand.
But
yeah.
Seth the Flow Erskines
Yeah.
and Carolina Mike, you're all about.
Right, because
Makes no
hold on,
sense.
Seth the Flow Erskines, the Colt super fan that does the song, I seek him out. Okay. I don't have to take the content, but I was caught by what is this? And then I went all in. I don't seek him out. I mean, no, I seek him out. Marlins, man, I don't seek out. He's throwing himself into the story.
Carolina Mike?
Again, I seek out the content.
Why? It's terrible.
It makes me laugh. It makes me laugh. Yeah. Yeah. Because I'll tell you why. Also, two guys that I don't think take themselves serious. They're just having a fun time. Marlins man, I think, believes he owes it to, like, hey, if I'm not sitting behind home plate, then people are going to wonder where I am. I won't.
So did you ever have any issues with Fireman Ed?
Oh, I can't stand Fireman Ed.
Good Lord.
I can't stand Fireman Ed. Well, I mean, he's a Jet guy. I'm a Giant guy, so I can't stand Fireman Ed.
But him as a fan.
He can root for his team, but I can't stand. Because there's certain people that go out of their way to think, like, he believes if he's not there doing his chant, that 1 million people are going to miss him.
They might.
No, they won't. No, they won't. Just the other 40 drunk idiots think it's a good idea. You know, most of the fans like, sit down. I can't see. Yeah, sit down. Yeah. Marlins, man. Cameron Young was down 4 shots yesterday during the final round of the Players' Championship at TPC Sawgrass. He rallies back to beat Matthew Fitzpatrick by a stroke. He birdied did Young 17, the famous par 3, and then par 18, and Fitzpatrick.
You okay? You choking?
Huh?
You choking?
8-foot putt. Missed it. Yeah. In the Paralympics, hockey, men's, U.S. Canada, 6-2 win for the U.S.
Can't stop the Americans.
Hey, Canada. I mean, when is enough enough? I mean, come on, man. When is enough enough? What can I tell you? Yeah. Kimi Antonelli becomes the second youngest driver to win an F1 race, 19 years, 202 days. He's 8 years old, actually, is what he looks like. But he won the F1 race in China. And they also did, by the way, cancel 2 races in the Middle East and Bahrain and Saudi Arabia because of the ongoing situation in Iran. And after the Japanese Grand Prix, then they're off 5 weeks until the race in Miami, which is significant news there for F1. World Baseball Classic tonight, Venezuela, Italy. They're the semifinal match. It's on FS1. And yes, if you've never seen the Italians play, I'm sure the camera will show the espresso machines inside their dugout. Yeah, how about that?
What do you need espresso machines for in your dugout?
It's now a running thing. They drink espresso during the game, get a little shot during the game. Yeah. Yeah. By the way, Peacock tonight for the Magic game against the Hawks. And, yeah, Knicks beat the Warriors last night. You know, Steph Curry hasn't played in like 6 weeks. I love Steph Curry, Chris. He did say, I know a lot of fans want me to just sit out and rest till next year. No, I think they want you to play if you can play.
Yeah.
And he did say, you know, if I can come back and play, I'll come back and play. But I don't think fans like, you know what, shut it down, because I think they recognize you're 38 and you may not have that many games left to play. But he said he'll try to give it a go when he's cleared to play. Hasn't played in like 6 weeks. All right, that's what's happening in the news. Again, Magic tonight against the Hawks. 7-game win streak for the Magic, 9-game win streak for the Hawks. By the way, if you missed the show within the show discussion that we had, because then I just got a text from somebody in the food business. Because the one of the debates that we had was, I saw somebody yesterday, the UCF baseball game in the club level, because the game began at 11 a.m. So they had a number of breakfast items available, which included sliced heated ham. And they had, like, you know, French toast sticks. I don't often have French toast sticks, but I like a good crispy French toast stick.
I love French toast sticks.
You know, almost drowning in maple syrup.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And I saw a guy who purchased a hamburger at the concession stand take a slice of the ham and put it on the burger. And I've never seen any. I've done it for years, and it led to an interesting discussion. You can put bacon on a hamburger.
Are you doing ketchup, mustard?
He had everything. It was loaded. But he put a slice of ham on there. And he said he's done it for a long time. I said, I don't think anybody's seen doing it. And the more I thought about it, doesn't seem that odd.
Well, try it and let us know.
Chris said he would never do it.
I didn't say I would never.
And most people in the stream said no to ham, but yes to bacon.
Yes.
And we do know the animal, same thing. And there's Canadian bacon, which is basically that. Yeah. But that seems odd to people. The slices of bacon, fine. The small piece of ham, people uncomfortable with it.
Bacon, hamburger, bacon, cheeseburger. It goes. Ham, hamburger? No. It just.
Got to admit, though, it looked pretty good. It looked pretty good.
Well, you go try it and let us know.
Big breaking NFL news of that trade and some other NFL notes when the Beat of Sports on this Monday continues next.
Hey, it's Johnny Manny from Johnny's house.
Look, we've got you covered with the hits and what's going on in the city beautiful.
And Mark, he's got everything you need to know in the sports world, with maybe a touch of sarcasm.
This is the Beat of Sports with Marc Daniels.
Chris, if I bring you a hamburger with ham tomorrow, will you eat it during the show, within the show?
Yeah. I mean, I told you I'd eat it. I'd try it. Got nothing against it. It just seems weird.
Okay. Consider it done.
Okay.
Providing you remember to pick it up.
Where are you picking it up from?
No, I'm going to make.
Ah.
And there's such a heat up tomorrow. Is that okay?
Yeah. Marc Daniels cooking me food. I like it. So now we're getting one step closer to you inviting me over.
You know, we're not. Yeah. I am jealous of your new sink.
You're more than welcome to come over.
Chris, again, I say it tongue in cheek. You can send me all the pictures and videos of your adorable daughter, and I'll look at them all.
Which I didn't even send. Oh, man.
But if I was to make it over to your house, the last thing I'm doing is, you guys want to get a tour of the house? No.
As soon as you walk in from my garage door, the sink is right there. You don't have to go on a tour of my house.
I am jealous of the sink, but no.
Just wait till the kitchen's completely done.
Guys, don't do that, man. You want to tour the house? No.
No, Mark, you want to come in?
You want to see it? No, I don't want to see.
Mark, do you want to use my sink?
No, I respect a man's sink and his barbecue and his grill. You know, just don't touch it.
That's such a weird thing. I respect the man's sink.
Yeah. So the Jets are sending Justin Fields to the Chiefs. The Chiefs are sending a 2027 sixth-round draft pick to the Jets for Justin Fields. Chris, if you could buy the audio of any conversation the Raiders and Jets had and the Jets and Chiefs had, you'd pay for that. When it came to this, if I said, "Hey, Chris, for $100, I'll give you the audio conversation of the Jets and Raiders for the Geno Smith deal and the Chiefs and Jets for Justin Fields," you pay for it, right?
Yeah.
Because you want to hear and go, "Come on, no, seriously, what? What?
I got nothing for it. Like, bring back Gardner Minshew.
He signed. He's in Arizona.
I know, but I'm saying, bring back Gardner Minshew. Why not? Why not bring him
maybe it was
back?
a money thing.
Carson Wentz.
Yeah. Well, he still may end up with the Jets.
There's adequate backups out there. You want to bring in Justin Fields?
Who do you think initiates the call? Do the Chiefs call the Jets?
It would have to. I don't think the Jets organization's smart enough to do it.
Listen, maybe Andy Reid believes we need an adequate backup. It's got some experience.
You've had adequate backups.
You know, with Patrick, can't rely on 17 games anymore. So let's get a guy in here. Hey, listen, let me just play defender of Justin Fields for a second.
Uh-huh.
No, just allow me.
Oh, please.
You agree. Sometimes guys end up on bad teams that don't know how to use them and develop players or surround them with talented players.
Agreed.
Maybe Fields, if you look at the body of work in Chicago and with the Jets.
We're just skipping over Pittsburgh.
I was going to say in Pittsburgh. I'm not saying he's not at fault, but I am saying in all three places, was he not viewed as a bridge guy?
Not in Chicago.
Not in Chicago. But the last two was. Maybe maybe the Chiefs look at the market and go, let's get Fields. He's got some starts under his belt. And we believe that Patrick.
Again, you've had backups. Like, do we really think that Justin Fields is better than what Gardner Minshew?
But again, maybe Gardner Minshew got $2 million more to go to the Cardinals. I don't know. Maybe the Chiefs are like, we're not paying for that.
There's not anyone on the free agent market.
Because they just made a trade. They are inheriting Fields' contract.
That's what, $20 million?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
I don't know. I read did you see, and you guys may have talked about it late last week when Mike was in, the the Falcons and Tua and a couple of Tua's comments, the Falcons, I want to come in and compete for the job with Penix. Chris, the more I think about it, and again, I always thought the Dolphins were going to do what they did. But clearly, Miami found no market to make a deal because he had to inherit the contract. Okay? But even with what the Dolphins did, considering the money he's going to make, I don't know what the market was because he ends up taking a low-pay one-year deal with the Falcons without the guarantee that he's going to start, right? Without the guarantee he's going to start.
Well, the contract had to be what it was. Same with Kyler Murray because the Dolphins are still paying.
Well, but I'm just saying, based on what the Dolphins did, take a look and what Tua ended up doing. How big was the market?
It wasn't big. But Atlanta probably gives him the best opportunity to compete for a starting job.
So, which I get. He's looking for a place to go, okay, can I beat this guy out? And maybe he can. For example, had the Chiefs said, oh, we'll sign him now, he probably wants to play. And thinking, well, Mahomes is going to be healthy, how much are we going to play? But there may not have been that big of a market.
There wasn't.
And the Kyler Murray thing, we're doing that thing that we typically do, right? Where all of a sudden he just got better because he went to a team that has offensive assets. I mean,
yeah,
his assets weren't bad in Arizona, but we're doing that thing because we're going, well, you know, the coach is going to figure it out here. And like all of a sudden, Kyler Murray became the good Kyler Murray again after that signing. Although his deal's interesting too.
Well, the competition, I think he's going to push JJ McCarthy out of Minnesota.
Well, aren't you? Yeah. You're signing Kyler Murray telling you that. Yeah. You're not signing him to come in and compete with JJ McCarthy here, right?
Well, for Kyler, it's essentially a one-year prove-it deal.
Well, I'm just saying he didn't. A lot of people thought that there was a, he'll find a 3-4 year. Again, maybe he just wanted to go to Minnesota like, listen, I'm so confident I'll do well there, so I'll play, and then I'll get the big deal on top of it. But was there a market for a multi-year deal? Was there a Sam Darnold deal for him? Apparently not.
I thought either the Jets or the Colts would have made a play for Kyler. This obviously before the Daniel Jones signing. But I think Minnesota is a good landing spot for him. Justin Jefferson gets an adequate quarterback who can get him the ball, who will, for Jefferson's sake, stay healthy.
And you may be right, because Justin Jefferson can help quarterbacks be better, but we're also doing the same thing that we just did in Arizona. Yeah, Harrison didn't live up to what the hype, but, still made some nice plays and had decent numbers. We're just now assuming, well, he gets the ball out there. He had problems in Arizona. Couldn't stay healthy. We're just assuming now he's going to stay healthy. And to me, the Jets clearly told you by what they did with Geno Smith, and they still signed Carson Wentz because Frank Reich is a big fan of him, that this is just, we're bridging this thing, that in 27, we're going to go all in on a quarterback, and that's the path that we're going to take, which is what a lot of people thought the Dolphins were going to do. And
I still don't understand the Malik Willis signing.
They believe that it's the minimal risk because if it doesn't work out, then you still got a ton of cap space when all the tour stuff comes off in 28, and they're in a good position either A, if they're going to draft somebody, go free agent. So to them, it's a nice 2-year bridge, or they found their guy for the future. That's how they view it. I'm sure you saw this at the NFL this year may do the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Stupid. Overexposure.
Oh, Chris.
It's terrible.
Chris.
Mark.
Chris.
Mark.
Chris.
Please.
Chris.
Mark.
Chris.
Make it make sense.
I like when you do it.
What are we doing?
Yeah. What you're doing is you're watching the largest television property in American television or American entertainment, because it's not just TV anymore. Take advantage of the runaway train that they are and play Pac-Man to gobble up everybody else and take advantage of monster television moments. And a Wednesday night before Thanksgiving game is a massive night for viewing. And I'm sure that they're going to do it. Adam Schefter doesn't put that out there unless somebody in the league office told you we're going to do it. And my first thought was, because I forgot, the schedule's not even out. When I saw it, like, what game are they moving? I'm like, wait a minute, the schedule's not out yet. 100% they're going to do it.
We don't need it. The NFL doesn't need
Chris,
to do it.
I know we don't need it, but we didn't need the Black Friday afternoon game. And they did that, and it had good numbers. We don't need a lot of the stuff, but they don't care because they see a massive TV window that to them is, and I'm making up a number here, is 30 to 40 million people.
And this is going to be 100% guaranteed streaming. This is going to be a streamed game.
Yes. Which means it might be 25 million. Sure. Remember, they've already told you, they've told their partners, we're going to opt out of our current TV deal. So you're going to have X number of months to go find the dollars in your couch, or in the case of Netflix, the nickels in your hot tub, and come up with anywhere from 30 to 50% more than you're paying now. And none of them that are currently in the business with the NFL can afford to not be in the. I mean, Netflix would survive it even if they did not have the NFL. Amazon would survive. The TV partners, you can't survive without it. You can't. It's just that big. So, yes, it'll probably be streaming, which, by the way, will have the biggest increase. They'll get more out of Fox and CBS and NBC and Disney, ABC. But the streamers are the ones that are going to pay a lot more. And they'll to Amazon and Netflix, it's nothing. It's a tiny drop in the bucket. So yes, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, Chris, a few years ago, the thought of the NFL even thinking about playing on Christmas Day was like never. How many games? I mean, Christmas Eve.
We don't need it. And at some point, I get we're obsessed with the NFL.
Yeah.
They could put it on a Tuesday at 12 o'clock. It'll still draw multi-million views.
Oh, that'd be cool. Tuesday noon game? Oh, my God.
Mark, at some point, overexposure is a thing.
For some leagues, and I don't think the NFL's there. For example.
They're working really hard towards it.
But for an example, and again, it's a bad comparison because I just did this early in the program when talking about the NCAA tournament versus the college football playoff. The number of teams and just the approach of the season. But the NBA and Adam Silver, who may be taking a little bit more heat than he typically does for some other issues. The NBA and Silver's behind it because it's on his watch. Their media deal is incredible what they got. It's unbelievable the amount of money that they got. I believe their product is incredibly overexposed. To keep up with, well, what night is it? Is it Sunday on NBC? They have a game on Tuesday. Do I get both games? What's on this streaming? Is the Magic game tonight's on Peacock? Is it on, is it on Amazon? Is it over? I think the NBA for years now has been overexposed. And by the way, the numbers back it up. The quote, national games. Like, remember it was a big deal a couple years ago. Oh, they put primetime games Saturday on ABC. Like, it's usually Sunday afternoon. And we started doing that. Those numbers, they're not good. They're not good at all. Like Saturday night to see the Warriors play for the 38th time against the Nuggets. Oh, and by the way, Steph's not playing and Draymond's out tonight. Those games aren't drawing big numbers, but the deal's signed. But I think the NBA is overexposed. It's no big deal to see Jokic play or SGA play because they're on all the time. But in the NFL, with a fixed number of games, I don't think you're close to anything of overexposure. And the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, slam dunk. And Chris is going to watch whatever he says he's going to watch.
Obviously.
See?
But we don't need it, Mark. I mean, you don't think
you don't
that
need the extra.
You don't think that
Sour Patch Kids, but you buy the candy when you're
Stop
out
it.
and about.
You don't think that the NFL is taking away from its own product? You're putting a game on Wednesday, which means you're taking it away from Sunday. You have 3 games on Thursday. That's taking away from Sunday. You have
Correct.
what? 1, 2
Chris.
games on Black Friday,
Chris.
taking away from Sunday.
Chris, hands
Monday.
up. I said to you a couple times during this season, we'll say during every NFL season, you'd be like, man, that 4 o'clock window was terrible this weekend because we had games on other days. And you know what? Did I turn Red Zone off? Nope. Did I watch the Sunday night game? Yep. I'm like, I don't know. There may be an answer to your question of like, when is enough or too much, but I don't think the NFL thinks that they're at that point yet. And it sounds greedy that they're going to suck every dollar out of everybody, and they're in a position right now that they can do it. And I'm telling you, and we had TV executives on recently, the trickle down of what the NFL is doing is the sport right now that can't afford to have less dollars available. And what is that? That's college football. That is, well, all their deals are coming up in 2030 and 31 and 32. And the NFL's like, look at these 2 fingers and see what's coming in right now because I'm going to do it in 26 and 27. And you'd be like, wait, what? And be like, well, there'll be more money then. And the NFL is going to be like, right, until we opt out again in 29 and do it again. Yeah. Yeah. That's why Adam Silver took the long-term deal now. That's why he said, I'm going to sign this up right now and guarantee that money. Wednesday night viewing party at Chris's house with that new sink that he's got.
So you are coming over?
No. More of the Vita Sports next. By the way, ESPN Jeff Passan won't let it go. The final pitch of the U.S. the Dominican Republic game, a 3-2 pitch, called a strike, and the debate over whether it was a strike or not, the argument over where the ball crosses home plate as opposed to where the catcher catches it, the box on TV. We don't use the ABS, the automated ball strike system, so there was no ability of the Dominican Republic to challenge. If we had the system, they would need to have challenges available, and Passan won't let it go. And he is a guy that will bark back on Twitter at people. And a lot of people are like, come on, Jeff, it was a strike. And he's screaming it wasn't a strike. And then even people yelling. And I'm just looking, he's barking back and yelling at people. And some have gone with well, Jeff just needs the access to the Dominican players. So he's defending them here on Twitter. And he is agreeing with the Dominican players' view that both the Soto strike in the 7th and then the strike to end the game were clearly balls, and that the Dominican Republic has been unjust here, and he won't let it go. And it's a Twitter fight right now.
If he genuinely felt that way, I'd respect it.
Oh, I think he does.
No, if he's doing this for access to their players, then no. To me, that loses credibility.
No, and I think there's a little bit of that. But I think he genuinely believes, hey, if we have a system that could get that call right, we should use this. And here's my comeback. Then that's fine. In 2029 at the World Baseball Classic, then add the system. And by the time we get to 29, Major League Baseball may have fully integrated and got the system better. But we don't have it in 2026. And I would challenge you, and I'm not questioning Jeff Passan's baseball intelligence. He knows a lot more than I do. Not that much.
Use us.
If you watch it live, and I can admit that I'm biased towards the American. If you watch it live, it is not like the pitch hit the dirt. Okay? And it is true about where the ball crosses home plate. And it is true that box on your television, the reason why this year, and if you watch last night and you watch a game on Fox, it's not baseball on ESPN anymore, or NBC, the box will be there, but the ball mark will not be there because that was the whole thing. We're not going to do this anymore. So the box will show up. It's not 100% accurate. Is it 97, 98? Maybe, but it's not 100% accurate. And the ball coming across home plate to where a catcher catches it and an umpire views it, it's not 100% accurate. And Juan Soto, as great as he is and has an unbelievable eye, is he right if you look at the 7th inning strikeout and go, well, here's the box, and this is where the ball was, and you want to do it to the last pitch of the game last night, you can go, well, what more evidence do I need? And my argument is, look at the pitch, take the box off the screen, and look at the pitch. Well, a guy like Soto knows better than you and I. Of course he does. But to take that pitch in that moment, well, he knew. Come on, man. You were talking about an inch and a half. Stop it. You can't play that. Well, he's so good he knows. I'm not telling you Juan Soto has a better eye for strike zone than I do, but let's not act like this pitch is 8 inches out of the zone here. This is inch and a half, how it crosses home plate.
What do they always tell you growing up when you're facing 2 strikes? If it's close, swing. At least that's what I was always told when I played Little League Baseball.
Yeah, how old are you when you stop playing baseball? Yeah, exactly. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
Excuse me.
I'm just kidding.
Not all of us had the chance to go professional.
I didn't either. So, I think Albert Pujols was a really class guy, which he is, and I'm sure he disagrees. He said he disagrees, but he wasn't going to make it all about that pitch. And here's my answer back to the individuals that are screaming about get more runs and hits. Get 1 run. He had one run. Going into the ninth inning, he had one run. Score more, right? Score more. Stop whining. Do a better job. Score more.
Exactly.
Pretty simple. For those of you that are doing your bracket for the NCAA tournament,
UCF all the way.
Okay, do that if you want. I'm not your guy for bracket. I mean, I could talk college basketball with you, but I made the decision years ago. I like to listen and laugh when, like I said, your guy at the office goes, "Hey, come here." Like he believes he has to whisper why he likes the 13th seed, and you're believing what he says. Have at it, man. Have at it. One of the great parts of American sports is bracket for an NCAA tournament, right? Chris, Super Bowl boxes, that people play.
Super Bowl squares, baby.
And when the casual fan ends up winning and you're like, what? How could they? It's all part of the lure of events like this.
You just guess. That's all it is.
When the guy in your office goes, hey, let's get a cold on Thursday and Friday to watch basketball. He hasn't watched a single game all year. He's just looking for beer, wings, and a reason to get to the office.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Nothing
Fine.
wrong with it.
It's all good. It's all good. Our good friend Scott Adams was up at the TPC. And did you see that? Well, Chris hates when I tell him about a new Netflix show, but Will Ferrell's got a golf show coming out on Netflix. And Scott was up at TPC Saturday, not yesterday. And they were dropping people on the show, and they were shooting stuff in the gallery. And some knew about it, some didn't know about it.
So Scott going to be in?
I said, I go, are you in a shot? He goes, I don't think so. Could have lied. A good chance to tell me that he was.
Yeah.
But I saw some other stuff online that they were shooting scenes of this at TPC. It looks like a series version of Happy Gilmore too. Yeah. Saw the trailer. I like Will Ferrell, but, will I watch maybe an episode or two? Got a flight coming up, download, watch it. A little bit of that. Yeah. I just finished watching on Netflix. I watched The Night Agent. I liked it. I guess it was the third season. And we can binge watch something, which I did. I think it's 10 episodes in I don't know, 2 flights or something like that. When it's done, you're like, that's it? And you realize, it's 6.5 hours that you just watched when you add it up. That's it. Well, what happens next? It's called next season. That's what it is.
So did you like season 3?
Yeah.
So we like my wife and I, we like season 1. And then season 2 is like,
Have you seen 3 yet?
No.
I'll agree on 2. I thought 2 dragged out. I like 3. I think you'll like it.
Okay.
It does have a few episodes that could go faster, and obviously it leaves you on the hook for season 4. Yeah, but it's over? Yeah, it was 10 episodes, 6.5 hours. It's over. Come back. We'll put a wrap on the Monday show next.
Time for the latest news, gossip, trends, and off-the-wall stories. Trends.
That's the craziest thing I ever heard.
There are tickets you could buy if you want to go. Obviously, the Gators in Tampa. If you're a UCF fan, you can buy tickets in Philadelphia. 8 teams go to those regionals. You'd be shocked how few tickets go through the school, and then you got to buy on the market. Good luck. And then people end up going to the secondary market. With UConn going to Philadelphia, tickets are going to be in high demand because they'll draw well Tennessee, other team going there. So if you're a UCF fan, you can go to their website, but I'd hit the secondary market. And flights to Philly, not bad. Head on up, catch a little basketball action. Go find the Rocky statue and see the bell, which is still cracked. All right. Miss any of today's program, go. You get your favorite podcast. Type of the BOS Sports on Demand. Subscribe, download, listen to the show. It's convenient for you. You can watch the video stream back at your convenience. Go to our YouTube page, 96 The Game Orlando, the icon, live button. You can watch the stream back, and we appreciate those hanging out with us. Chris, see you tomorrow.
See you, Mark.
Chris, producer, I'm Marc Daniels. See you tomorrow for the BOS Sports.